Donald Trump's presidential campaign says they have absolutely nothing to do with these text messages. The windows are completely gone, the tire is submerged in the grass, and the bumper is completely destroyed. Here in Key Biscayne, these supporters have been out here since 9 in the morning. Right now, we are seeing photos of the aftermath of a tragic crash in Texas. Police now saying this was an act of arson. Right now, South Florida has turned into Taylor Nation as tens of thousands of Swifties flock to South Florida for the final leg of her Eras tour. A 4-1 vote for a $12 million settlement leaves Commissioner Joe Carrocho furious. Firefighters saying they couldn't get in quick enough. Mientras las llamas seguían ardiendo, los bomberos no tenían otra opción que entrar en esta ventana del dormitorio que antes era un garaje. Miren este auto, la rueda sumergida en el pasto y las ventanas completamente destruidas. El American Immigration Council dice que si el plan de deportación de Donald Trump sigue, podría reducir el tamaño de la economía alrededor del 7%. Pero otros concejales que votaron dicen que era el mejor camino para proteger el dinero de los contribuyentes. Hombres, mujeres y niños afroamericanos recibieron un mensaje racista. Undocumented immigrants are fearing for their future as Donald Trump's deportation plans are in the works.
It's hard not to feel hopeless.
She's asking us to call her by her first name. Lorena and her family have called South Florida home for 30 years.
I actually didn't know I was undocumented until I graduated high school and my dad had passed away. That's when my mom sat down and had the conversation with me.
Lorena is in the country legally thanks to deferred action status, but her mother is one of the estimated 11 million without legal status, many of them uncertain over what is to come.
I'm really scared for our community right now.
There is a lot of panic.
Immigration attorney Saman Movasagi Gonzalez believes the president-elect will enforce his mass deportation plan, starting with undocumented immigrants with criminal records.
It's not my first Trump rodeo. He is going to push all the extremes.
In the case of mixed status families, Movasagi Gonzalez says they must be prepared.
Prepared financially, prepared with your documentation, prepared with evidence of how long you've been here.
But Tom Homan, now Trump's border czar, has pledged to carry out the deportation of undocumented immigrants starting on day 1.
You better start packing now.
In a 60 Minutes episode, the former director asked how to avoid separating children with U.S. citizenship from their undocumented parents.
Families can be deported together.
As Trump's administration continues to transition into power, Lorena is uncertain what these next 4 years will mean for her family.
When it comes to the bottom of it, they put us all in the same boat. I think we're all come here looking for a better life. I know that's what my parents did.
The American Immigration Council says that if Donald Trump's deportation plan follows through, it could reduce the U.S. GDP by around 7%. In Myanmar, I'm Valentina Gaspari, Local 10 News. On this third day of cleanup, residents are now piling up trees and debris that were left over, wrecked by a massive EF3 tornado. One of them being this car. You can see behind me, the windows are completely gone. The tire is submerged in the grass and the bumper is completely destroyed. You can see this car is not even manageable to be driven. And now residents are coming together to help each other out along this long road of recovery. Along roadways up and down the Treasured Coast in Palm Beach County, the pile of debris and branches stretch on for miles.
I mean, I'm in the house because I hear stuff hitting it, like pieces of people's roofs, and I'm in the house ducking, as if you were outside.
Lisa Lipari saw several massive trees come down just outside her home, a garden she maintained in her backyard destroyed.
I just cried, and I don't, but I was I'm like, oh my God.
Tree branches and debris had knocked out power for over 2 million households across the state, but late Saturday that number down to 1.4 million. For homeowners, the cleanup's still on. During the day, the sound of hammers and chainsaws have replaced the roaring winds of the tornado. But as the cleanup continues,
the scariest thing I've ever been through.
The memories of those terrifying few moments still fresh for so many. Christian Boyd saw the tornado coming and ran inside, shielding her 2 daughters in the bathtub.
You know when you watch documentaries on the Weather Channel or something and you see the tornado with the debris flying around everywhere? That's what it looked like. I kind of just laid on top of my girls and just prayed for the best.
Her house left with damage, but she says neighbors have come together to help her clean up.
Honestly, the community and just our friends and family has been amazing. Like even like so many helping hands.
Such a massive amount of people that came to literally help, not wanting anything. And they came with chainsaws and skid steers, and I mean, I'm blessed.
And one of the ladies telling us she was about to sell that house, but that was until this tornado swept her backyard and everything that remained. We're in Wellington. I'm Valentina Gaspari, Local 10 News. A scary moment for a family living in this home in Sunrise. Firefighters saying they couldn't get in quick enough. They believe the fire started in the back. Now a family has no place they call home. A devastating sight to see, flames and smoke seen from blocks away as firefighters made their way to this home in Sunrise Sunday morning.
We did arrive to heavy smoke and flames showing from the rear and the front.
In the 9,000 block of Northwest 26th Street and North Pine Island Road, 3 people getting out of their own, 1 rescued by fire officials.
Units were able to initially force entry through a door, but due to heavy fire conditions, they were unable to get to the victim. So they performed what's called a vent-enter search.
While flames kept burning, firefighters had no choice but to break through this window of the bedroom that used to be a garage. They say it was the only way to rescue the person trapped inside. Crews pulled off the successful rescue of that woman, alert and conscious, taken to a nearby hospital. Investigators called the 1-story home a total loss for the owners, the property now an unsafe structure. Debris taking over the back and front of the home, and the cause of the fire still unknown. The Red Cross now helping the victims in need. Pets were also involved in this tragic fire. A parrot made it out successfully, but a cat unfortunately died inside. But the family's 2 other cats are still missing. That's the latest here in Sunrise. I'm Valentina Gaspari, Local 10 News. Los inmigrantes indocumentados están preocupados por su futuro mientras los planes de deportación de Donald Trump están en marcha. No está pidiendo que la llamemos por su primer nombre. Lorena y su familia han llamado hogar al sur de la Florida durante 30 años. Dice que no sabía que era indocumentada hasta que se graduó de la escuela secundaria. Lorena está en el país legalmente gracias al estado de acción diferida, pero su madre es una de los estimados 11 millones sin estatus legal. Muchos de ellos no están seguros de lo que está por venir.
I'm really scared for our community right now.
There is a lot of panic.
La abogada de inmigración Saman Movasagi González cree que el presidente electo hará cumplir su plan de deportación masiva, comenzando con los inmigrantes indocumentados con archivos criminales.
He is going to push all the extremes. Well, it's not my first Trump rodeo.
En el caso de las familias de estado mixto, Movasagi González dice que deben estar preparados financieramente con su documentación y preparados con evidencia de cuánto tiempo han estado aquí. Pero Tom Homan, ahora el border czar de Trump, se ha comprometido a llevar a cabo la deportación de inmigrantes indocumentados a partir del primer día.
You better start packing now.
En un episodio de 60 Minutes, el exdirector preguntó cómo evitar separar a los niños con ciudadanía estadounidense de sus padres indocumentados,
Families can be deported together.
diciendo que las familias pueden ser deportadas juntas. A medida que la administración de Trump continúa haciendo la transición al poder, Lorena no está segura de lo que estos próximos 4 años significarán para su familia.
When it comes to the bottom of it, they put us all in the same boat. I think we're all come here looking for a better life. I know that's what my parents did.
El American Immigration Council dice que si el plan de deportación de Donald Trump sigue, podría reducir el tamaño de la economía alrededor del 7%. En Myanmar, soy Valentina Gaspari, Local 10 News. Problemas financieros para la aerolínea Spirit después de declararse en bancarrota. Pero la aerolínea dice que esto no afectará a los viajeros ni a los empleados. La aerolínea Spirit, con sede en sur de la Florida, está solicitando protección por bancarrota. Conocida por sus tarifas baratas, la compañía está luchando, enfrentando funciones fallidas y perdiendo más de $2.5 billones desde la pandemia.
During the pandemic, it stopped a lot of people from traveling since everything was pretty much closed. So the airlines started to lose money.
With a lot of the things that all the airlines go through, it comes as no surprise that every once in a while they look for a restructuring or a change of plan.
Es la aerolínea más grande en el Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, empleando a miles. Y su sede en Dania Beach, nuevo desde la primavera.
A huge industry for us as a community. And
Bob Swindell, presidente y director ejecutivo de la Lancia del Greater Fort Lauderdale, compartiendo su esperanza en el show de Glenna Milberg this week in South Florida.
And I think Spirit is doing everything it can to make sure that the airline can return to sustainability. It may be a little bit smaller, but once you get on a sustainable track and it's profitable, I think that there's good options ahead for Spirit.
En un comunicado, la aerolínea dice que operará como de costumbre. Los viajeros pueden continuar reservando vuelos sin interrupciones y los salarios o beneficios de los miembros del equipo seguirán pagándose. La aerolínea dice que planea poner fin a su quiebra en los primeros meses del 2025. Desde el Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, soy Valentina Gaspari, Local 10 News. New video showing the moment several cars outside an apartment building in Allapattah went up in flames. Police now saying this was an act of arson. Both presidential candidates are on the campaign trail, and one of them is making a stop right here in South Florida. Big news involving the Miami Dolphins. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is one step closer to returning to action, and he spoke with reporters a short time ago. Still ahead on Local 10 News at 6, new details on a multi-agency arrest. The person accused of killing Cuban rapper El Tiger taken into custody in New York. What we're learning about the arrest. And ahead at 5:30, the victim of a rideshare robbery speaking only to Local 10. What he says happened after he got in what he thought was an Uber. After the break, rescued from a canal. See the moment Florida deputies race to save the dog and get him back on dry land. Developing now, the death toll is rising after flash floods in Spain. At least 95 people have died after the heavy rainfall. Take a look at this new view of the severe flooding. Thousands of cars seem piled against the muddy water. Some locations in southern and eastern Spain received up to 12 inches of rain in just a few hours yesterday, leaving several roads and towns underwater.